Hey guys, let's take a look at the markets tonight and see what we're working with. Today is August 5th, 2025. So if we dive right into it, let's first pull up the S&P 500. We're going to use SPY as our proxy to the S&P 500. And right off the bat, you can see my arrow is pointing at the bright green moving average line, which is my 20-day moving average. And as of today, we are back below it. So this is good to see from a bearish view. If some of you folks have been following the prior conversations I've had, I view the month of August to be a negative seasonality month. Again, not my call, but a quantitative backtest. According to a 30-year quantitative backtest, it is typically a non-performing month. So this is all playing out exactly as expected, I would say. It looks like for the most part, we close below the 20-day moving average, which is where the arrow is pointing. This is suggestive that the continuation to the downside may still occur, which is pretty good because I am positioning for the most part on the short side. So that's S&P 500. It looks like it's, well, let's see if we can get some more downside. Now, we also want to validate this across different indices because sometimes you might have one index that is outperforming or leading the way or whichever. We could also validate this by looking over at QQQ over here. And this time around, you might see I have this pink trend line. I know it's a little bit hard to see with all the other indicators and overlays, but it's something that you really just have to practice your eyes with, and eventually you'll pick it up. But for the most part, if you look at the arrow, right, it's pointing at that pink line that I drew right there. Maybe I can help you out by pointing it a little bit closer right there. We have a official close of a red candle right below that trend line, which gives us additional validation that, well, this market's still having a tough time. Now, keep in mind, it's always just because I'm viewing the markets going in one direction, it doesn't mean that I can't be wrong. And markets have a tendency to go either direction, and we have to just risk management that, right? You can't predict the markets 100%, but we can work with probabilities. And so what I'm seeing right here is that, well, it's below the trend line, which gives additional validation that more downside, I still believe, is on its way. So let's take a look at another stock because a recent buddy of mine have recently joined a company called Snowflake. And this one, it has earnings coming up. I know if we look down here at the earnings date, it doesn't show the earnings date. That's fine, but we know that earnings is coming up. And so, well, it's a little bit tricky to play earnings, right? Because it's obviously this is a bearish setup, right? You have a break of support line right here that you can see with the rectangular bar that I drew right there. It looks like it's already in a downward or beginning a downward trend, and earnings is coming up. So it's kind of hard to trade.